Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next lesson. We're going to talk about numbers and how you say them, because numbers are sometimes difficult. Well, I think they're very difficult because you can say we use numbers in a variety of contexts. My birthday, the date, the time, counting in business, and they're all used slightly differently. So it's important that we practice them. We're also going to look at comparatives in a grammar context, more than, as good as. So we're going to compare two different things and see how we do that in English. We always make comparisons in life. And so we're going to know how to do it in English. And then finally, there'll be some interesting pronunciation, but as well, I want to talk about this listening just a little bit. We normally don't talk about listening, but over here on the right, there's some interesting questions that I would like to pose for you to answer on your own or with a speaking partner, or perhaps during the next live. So let's get started. Vocabulary, types of numbers. I want to answer some of these questions, and then I want you to answer them, because I know some of us don't have speaking partners, so I'm going to be your speaking partner now. So I'd like you to ask me a question. So why don't you go ahead and ask me the first question, and then I'm going to ask you the question and you answer. So ready? And ask the first question here. Go. My birthday is on August 12th. When's your birthday? You don't have to give the year if you don't want. I respect your privacy. All right, number two, ask me question number two. My building number is 47. I don't like this number. What's the number of your house or building? Number three, you can ask me. So the population is the number of people who live in the city. I think the population is around 2 million. 2 million people live here. It's quite a lot. And what's the population of your town or city? All right, number five, can you read it? Well, that's a bit tricky because it depends on the location. But let's say an average two-bedroom flat that's pretty nice is about $1,000 a month to rent. What about for you? What's the average price of buying or renting a two-bedroom flat or apartment? Flat means apartment in your city or town. Okay. And what percent? Oh, now you ask me number five. Oh, this is getting really difficult now. I would say 60% of my day is taken up working. 60%. What percentage of the day do you normally spend working or studying? Okay. I think that's all right. I couldn't hear you so well, but we'll talk about it during the live. Now we're going to practice saying these numbers, and I want to emphasize the words or phrases in bold. This is called bold, B-O-L-D, in black, darkened black. So when we approximate, that means you're not specific, you're not exact, you're around. So we say about $500, around $12 a day. Sorry, at least 12. Around is another one. Around $12 or about. Those are similar. At least 12 a day, $12 a day. At least, so that or more. And then between $2,000 and $3,000. Now, I've used dollars, but you can use anything you want. And that means it's the price is at the bottom 2,000 or at the top 3,000, somewhere in this range. This is the price range, R-A-N-G-E. So take these numbers seriously because we use numbers all the time, even our age. I know some of us forget numbers when we think about our age. I know that trick. I do it too sometimes. All right, grammar and pronunciation. We're going to use comparative adjectives and adverbs. And we're going to use as and as. So we're going to look at the highlighted words in the sentences. Are they adjectives or adverbs? So I'm going to read these and you tell me, are they adjectives or adverbs? And I'll let you know. My husband's, I'm reading right here, my husband's life is very busy and he's sometimes stressed. Busy and stressed, are they adjectives or adverbs? An adjective, just as a reminder, describes a noun. An adverb describes an adjective or a verb or another adverb, but mainly adverbs describe verbs mainly. So life, here's how I think of it. Put the word before its description. So can I say busy life? Yeah, so busy describes life. Life is a noun, so busy is an adjective. Stressed, who's stressed? The guy, the person is stressed. The stressed individual, so that would also be an adjective describing the person. What about number 2? My sister walks and talks very quickly. All right, quickly describes which words? Walks and talks. Now, walks and talks are verbs, so it's an adverb. Number 3, some young people eat a lot of fast food. All right, this is a bit tricky because so fast food, fast describes food, food is a noun, so fast is an adjective. But if you say he eats fast, fast then describes eats, which is a verb, and therefore it's an adverb. So fast can be an adjective or an adverb. Let's look at, we have it here in the next sentence. If things don't happen as fast as I want them to, I get impatient. This is a bit tricky. You can pause the recording if you want to think about it. As fast as describes happen. How does it happen? Or, how fast? As fast as. So that describes happen. This is an adverb. Impatient is describing the person. He's an impatient person. If you can put it before a noun, then it's an adjective. So impatient is an adjective. Number 5, some people don't think living faster is a bad thing. Bad describes thing, so it's an adjective. And finally, number 6, I think in general, I live well. Live, well describes how you live. So live is the verb, well is the adverb. Now you're going to go ahead and circle the correct form. Life is faster or more fast than before. Faster. Traffic in cities is bad or worse than it was. We're looking for comparative form, and that would be worse. Bad, worse, worst. We're going to practice these in the grammar bank in a minute. Everybody is busier, look at the spelling, or busier than they were 5 years ago. I-E-R, busier. Finally, number 4, we are more stressed or stresseder than our grandparents were. More stressed. Number 5, we do everything more quickly or quicklier. More quickly. Number 6, people aren't as patient as, or people aren't as patient than they were before. Which one, as or than? And the correct answer is as patient as before. We can use than, but not with as patient as before. So this is the right answer. All right, we're going to look at these right now in the grammar bank. I was busier than I was 5 years ago. People are more important than. So we have the comparative plus than. So to compare two people, we use the comparative adjective or right here. And then we use than. And look at number 2. I'm less relaxed this year than a year ago. We can use less or more. And then finally, the service in the restaurant isn't as good as. That is a comparison. As good as. He is as good as she is. They're equal. So if we look then at the comparative adjectives here, we look at the different ways you can form adjectives. The most common is the ER ending. You can see here, here, and here. Short to shorter, ER. Hot to hotter, where you double the T and add ER. And busy to busier, where you drop the Y and you add IER. Now, if a word ends in ED, we have to put more stressed, more relaxed. That's ED, and it's also 2 or more syllables. So long words, we put more beautiful, not beautifuler, more beautiful. And then we look here at irregular verbs, good to better, we have to memorize it, bad to worse, and far to further or farther. So we have some irregulars. Then we move to adverbs. People walk, this is a verb, more quickly. That is, so quickly is the adverb, more than is the comparison, more quickly than in the past. My brother speaks French, excuse me, but less fluently than me. She doesn't drive as fast as. So those are comparisons with adverbs. Very good. And here we have the comparative adverbs that are irregular. Faster, fast, faster, hard, harder, well, better, badly, worse. The reason they are irregular is because these are not normally. You don't normally see adverbs normally end in ly, but not these. All right, and adverbs ending in ly take more quickly, more speedier actually. Oh, ly, that's right, we need ly there. So very good, comparatives with pronouns. We can either say than me or than I am. You have 2 options. He is smarter than me. He is smarter than I am. Both options are used. Than me is more common than I am. I prefer than I am. But I think both are fine. All right, we go back up here. And listening and speaking, how has your life changed over the last 3 years? Well, I can talk about that very briefly, and then I'd like to hear from you. 4 years ago, I started social media, and 3 years ago, it grew really quickly. And so since that time, my life has changed. I've become a public figure in a way that I didn't imagine it before. So I've become a lot busier, a lot more responsible, I think, for educating online, English education online, and helping those on my courses and those just following me. So my life has changed a lot in the last 3 years. What about yours? How has your life changed? I'm very curious to hear about that. And maybe you can tell me in an audio message. You can record a message and send it to me and tell me how your life has changed in the last 3 years. All right, I think that is going to do it. You've got the homework here, of course. That's the grammar explanation, but the homework is below, and then these are the explanations and answers. So good luck. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.